Okay, I think it should be fine now. At least on my screen, it should be fine. All right, go for it. Keep going. I think you're fine.
Are you able to see my
Yeah, yeah,
screen?
yeah. Your
Yeah, I can
screen's
see
the
your
big one.
navigation screen.
Yeah. I think it's just your page, which is a little different.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
For some reason, when I'm clicking on mine, it's not. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay. So as long as you can see it, I guess.
No worries.
So okay. So here. So we left off right here, and
Right, we left off on line 13, but the problem is you're only taking in a name. But remember, you have two other things you're taking in, right? Email and age. Remember?
yeah, yeah.
So how do we go ahead and implement those?
Um, what I create. Uh,
Think about it. If I want to take in multiple parameters, right? If I want to take in multiple variables inside a method, right? Remember how I had the calculator app where I was taking in two different numbers to add together, right? How would you take in two variables inside a function in Java?
you would just put a comma
Yeah.
and put it
Right.
inside.
Exactly. Now,
Yeah.
careful where you put the comma. Careful where you put the comma.
Okay.
Yes. Where do you want to put the comma? It is on line. It is on line 13. I'll give you that hint. But
Would it
yeah.
be after here?
Yep. That's right. Go for it. Put a
So
space.
okay, so basically what I would do if I'm following this same template, then what I say value email, and then followed by string email.
Yep. That's right. Go for it. Keep doing what you think is right, and then I'll correct you if it's wrong. Remember? You're making the same mistake again as last time. You're just putting value. There's value goes inside of something. Look very carefully how you did the other one, name.
Um, you said the value goes. This is
Remember, you put it inside. You put it inside request param because that's how you tell Spring, "Hey, look for this."
um.
Do you see? Look only on your project. Do you see how it says request param? Yeah, right there.
What one? Yeah, right here.
Request
Yeah.
param. Yeah. So you're just You can even copy and paste your own line of code, and change the word name into whatever the hell you want, right?
So I literally just have to do this,
Yeah.
and then just replace this with email, and then string email, and then do the same with age.
Yes.
Jason, I have a question.
Yeah. What's up?
Uh, is it necessary to use request parameters, or is just we're just using it in this case?
So no. So whenever you have something where you have a question mark and then you have parameters that go in your URL, you have to use request parameters, right? Because that's the only way to tell Spring, hey, look in the parameters. If you have a body, then you have to put in at request body, right? Because you have to tell Spring where to look and what to look for. Does that kind of make sense? Yes? No?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And not only do you have to tell them what to look for, you have to tell them what type, right? If you're passing in a JSON, you have to tell it, hey, this is this kind of object. If you're passing in like an integer, you have to tell them that it's an integer. If you're passing in a double, you have to tell, etc., right? Because it doesn't know what kind of data type it is.
For this, do I say int or integer?
You could do either, but I would do the large case integer because then it has no pointer exception handling, and it's much better that way. Yeah. Okay, so now.
I'm getting a bit of a syntax error here. Is it because there's nothing inside of here?
Yes, because inside on line 13, take a look. You after public it says student, right? You're telling Java, hey, we're going to return a student object. Well, guess what? You haven't returned a student object. You have returned Jack right now so far, right? And
Yeah.
so you have to return a student object. So why don't we do this? Go back in your student.java, or actually, don't even do that. Don't even do that. Go on line 14 and tell me what you think should happen. Um, Go ahead and code away. Figure out how would you create a student object and put in all those items that you just got and return it back to the user in the JSON format. Remember, you can take a look at my code as well. And for now, we won't create a service class because that takes too much time. But let's first take a look at how you would put all the logic in there.
Mm. So if this is my point of reference, I take it. I would have to
Actually,
write.
if I'm being completely honest, my point, what I wrote is not going to refer back to you because what I did was I put everything inside a service class, and you don't have a service class. Usually, remember how I told you put all the logic in the service class? Um,
Mm,
I'm not going to make you make a service class right now because it takes too much time, right? We have to move on to Gene in a little bit, but so I'm just gonna say, why don't you? And this is normally not good practice, but why don't you put all the logic right now inside of your controller class, just so you can at least get it working. Yeah. So what would you put on line 14? What's the logic behind it? How would you return a student?
um,
Right. First, I
I
would
have
say, Gene. Yeah. Go ahead, Gene.
I have
What
an
do you
idea,
think?
but I'm not sure if it's correct.
Hmm.
Could I say return? Let's see. But my opinion requires us to create a student object first,
Right.
right? So I
You're
don't
on
know.
the right track, but what are we? And I wouldn't return right away, right? Why don't we first create the object before returning it? Because we don't even have the object yet. So what are we first trying to create?
So will we create the student object inside the create students class or outside?
Outside. So
So,
on line 14, you would create the student.
so I would say new student.
Yeah, so you do student, so capital S student, and then undercase like like let's just say created student space created student equals new student, and
I
then
see.
yeah, right? Because we have to first create the student. That's the first step, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
so my question is, was this created student object, was it supposed to be inside the create students method, or was it supposed to be like a field, like a property for the student controller class? So
What
like
do you mean?
placing the student created student, the line maybe make take it to line 12
Uh-huh.
instead of line 14, given that.
No, because everything, like anything that actually performs logic, must be inside a method. You can't just have it outside floating all willy nilly, or else that code will never be executed. The
Oh,
only exception is if you run it under a static block, but that's very niche, and I'll explain that to you later on.
okay.
Yeah. So okay, that looks good, and put an empty bracket afterwards, right? Because you're calling the student constructor. And so you're constructing a new student with nothing inside. Perfect. What's the next step? Because inside the student, there are quite a few variables, right? So what do we do after that? I know, I'm really making you guys think right now. Don't rely on ChatGPT. First, go from
I'm
the
not.
fundamentals.
It's just it's hard on limited knowledge. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't kidding about this learning curve.
No worries. So what do we do? We have a new student object with nothing inside. What's the next step?
Um, would we have to
If I may ask, so
Hmm.
we the new object, the created student object, could we specify the values for the properties,
We
like the
could,
value
we could.
yeah,
more?
that's what I was
We
gonna
have a
say.
constructor for it. Remember,
Yeah,
we have
like
a constructor.
using
Um,
the argument constructor. Yeah.
the
And
problem is I want to break it down a little bit more because
okay.
constructors we can just throw everything in and return it all at once. You're on the right track, Gene, and normally you would do that, but in this case, I want to make it very clear step by step what's going on. So we're going to use the getters and setters instead, right? So
Okay.
yeah. So Mo, what do you think? What online? Press space, press enter so you can create a new line, and then on line 15 or 16, what's the next line of code that you think should happen?
Um, Making constructors, getters, and setters. Is that what we have to
N-
create?
Nope, we've
I
already
thought
done
I
that
thought
under.
we already did that. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now we have a new variable called created student, right? But created
Uh-huh.
student has nothing inside of it. It doesn't have an ID, it doesn't have a name, it doesn't have an email, and it doesn't have an age, right? So
Oh,
Um, more let
but
me more let me tell you what I think we should do. I think we should like assign like you assign the parameter name, and then we say maybe name equals to created student dot get name, and then give it the name, like your name more.
it's the other way around because right now our name variable is already there, but our
Okay.
created student dot get name is our inside the created student the name variable is empty. So you would do created student dot set name
Oh, the
name.
set name. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
good set
that's
name.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
And remember, just press enter. Press enter real quick. See how IntelliJ like autofills it for you, so you don't have to type in every single letter, right? That's why IntelliJ's one of the reasons why it's so helpful is because you type in like 3 letters and it can auto guess for you what you want. Um, right. So what do we set inside the created student inside set name? What do we put in there?
the name.
Yeah,
Yes,
let's say put a name.
that's right.
So syntactically, that would just be quotes and then no.
What and then more. Yeah.
Nope, 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 no, because you're not hard coding it, right? Because the name could
Oh,
be anything. It could be anything,
Oh,
right? For now, it's Mo, but if I use it, it could be Jason, right?
okay.
yeah.
So you don't want to hard
So
code
we
it.
say name.
So we have to dynamically put it in.
Yes, that's right. And you already have the variable. So what do you do?
Just say name.
Yes, say name.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. All right. So that's great. That's one out of the 4 variables, right? Um,
So now I have to do. So now I have to do a set email and I have to do a set age.
that's right. Yes,
So literally just repeat that and just put in that.
that's right.
Ugh, good grief, this is painful.
Okay, and one last thing. There's an ID, and obviously the user doesn't get to set the ID. You get to set the ID. So why don't we do something like create a student dot set ID, and then we could do like UUID dot random UUID or something. Oh, you said as a long here. Go back to student.java. No. Don't delete it. That's right. That's right. Set ID, but go back to student.java. Like go back into the class student.java, like on the tabs.
Um,
Yeah.
right here.
No. Inside the student class, like the actual student class.
Can you give me the
Uh, on
number?
the on the top of IntelliJ, on the third tab, you can see demo application.java. student control.java and go to student.java. No, a little. Uh, Not quite. Do you see your tabs where it has
Yeah.
the red squiggly line? Yeah, go to
Oh, yeah.
student.java. Yeah, go click on that, and from long. Do you see on line 14 where it says private long ID? Change it from a long to like say UUID.
To say what?
UUID, all caps,
Okay.
space
And,
UUID.
what does this stand for? Like, what is? I don't think I've ever.
Universal identifier. It okay. Wait, just type in UUID real quick, and I'll show you.
Okay. Why is it? Oh, do I have to import it?
Oh no. It's not just UU. It's UUID space ID, right? So because the variable name is called ID, but the object type is called UUID. So I'll tell you. Mo, give me a minute here. I just pinged you on Slack.
Okay.
Yeah, and UU the ID and UUID is all caps. It's all caps.
Oh, I see. Sorry. All right.
You can copy and paste exactly the code I gave you, but yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. And you're gonna highlight over that, yes, and import class, and then go in your web browser, open up a new tab. Don't delete what we have so far. And then type in UUID generator. So the problem with IDs is that there's so many numbers, right? And I can probably guess. The problem is like with numbers, I can guess that the first user's ID is 1, the second user's ID is 2, etc. And so it's really easy to guess. A UID is basically like a super long string. It always looks like this. It has like 8 digits, and then 4 digits, and then 4 digits, and then 4 digits, and then 12 digits, right? And
Could
so
I just copy this?
no, this is just an example, but click on generate a version for UID. So basically, your computer will always generate like a random string like that. You never have to worry about it, and it's there's enough letters where you can reasonably believe that it's mostly secure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, go back real quick. Don't copy it. That's just an example.
Okay.
But go back to your IntelliJ, and then go back to studentcontroller.java. And then for set ID, inside the little brackets, what you're going to do is you're going to do capital U, capital U, capital I, capital D, dot, random UUID. And so you're telling the computer, hey, go ahead and create a new one for me. Like, just generate a random UUID that's totally random, right? That way no one can guess the ID. And then, that looks good. So now you have populated this created student object. The object has everything you need. What's the last step? You have the object, right? But the user doesn't have it yet. So what do?
I have to make sure that the user has it by what is the next step?
No. You have the create student object. You have it, right? But the
Yeah.
user doesn't have it yet, right? So if I'm on the web page, I'm still waiting because the server has the object student, but I don't have it yet. So what does the server have to do? The
Has to
server.
send it to-
That's right. It has to send it back to me.
Request. Yeah.
Yes. So how do you send it back to me? You got it in the very beginning. I think you were jumping steps a little bit.
Is this where we return the credit student now?
That's right. Yes. So at the next line, you just put in return student, right, or created student. No. You return not just any student. You have to return the student that you just created.
The student that I just created.
Yeah,
What's the variable name?
Yeah, created student. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Put a semicolon. No, not student. It's a student. Yes.
Mhm.
All right. Go ahead and run that application and start up your Postman.
Okay. Do I just enable?
No, you have to run the spring. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's building right now, and wait for it to spin
All
up.
right, let me pull up Postman. I do have hopscotch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Postman or hopscotch, either one works. Just pick your poison. And no. Okay, hopscotch, yes. And go in that. Go on the third tab to the left where we created that URL. Not that one.
Localhost.
Localhost. Yeah, go to the localhost tab uh, under your web browser. Yes. Copy and paste that in hopscotch. Right.
Mhm.
Go to, and it's not a get request. It's a post request. Right. Paste that URL. No, not under the headers. Go. No, that's wrong. It's a URL. This is not a header, right?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here.
All good. Okay, go ahead and send it. Uh, uh, you don't have it. You have to either install the browser extension or something of the sort. If that's not working, you can try to use Postman because hopscotch can be a little bit finicky sometimes. I know you have to like set
Okay.
particular things
Let
up.
me,
Yeah.
let me pull up Postman. Let me pull it up. My computer's been a little slow. There it is. Okay. So it should be popping up
You want to bring it
now.
over to this window so we can all see it, or
Yeah, it's still
opening?
loading.
Okay. No worries. No worries. All good. All good.
Still waiting.
Gotta get a new Mac.
I know. Good grief.
Does Postman have a web browser version? I think so.
No, you can't use a browser for this because it's a post request. It's not a get request, so there's no easy way to do it.
Okay, come on, Postman. Okay, I think it's filling. Oh my goodness, please pop up already.
So, Jason, the question I asked you at first, with the creating an object first,
Uh huh.
I was also watching a tutorial, and they used a different method from what we just did.
Uh
So
huh.
they created an object. Let's say, for example, you created a student object
Uh huh.
in the controller class. And
Uh
then
huh.
for the post request, we used a request body, and then in Hopscotch or in Postman, we we wrote the JSON for the with all
Yes.
the
So there are two differences. Right now we're using the parameters to fill it out. So you can see how in the URL I put name equals email equals whatever, right? But also there's another way to send information to the server, especially with large amounts of data. So it would be using the body, like you said. So you would go under the body tab in Hopscotch, and you could
yeah.
see over there. Then you could put it in. And there's several different types. There's the raw JSON, like you said, which takes in a body, but there's also other stuff like the www for web encoded, which accepts like large files. So um, I'll dive into that a little deeper next meeting. But
Is there a recommended way, or it just depends on you?
so it depends on what you're requesting. If you're requesting a file, you want to use a www form header, right? If you're just asking for JSON data for a post request, then you want to use body. If you're asking for something that could be somewhat public and it's very short, then you use a param. And mind you, one thing. Um, Get requests, for example, do not have bodies. If you have a get request, you can only use parameter to pass in information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I apologize immensely for the technical difficulties.
It's all good.
Um, uh, darn it.
Uh,
Oh my God. Is this why everyone switches over to hopscotch?
I don't know about everyone, but yes, it used to be free and no problems. Now they want to make you sign up and do all this BS.
Oh boy.
Shout out to everyone watching right now. This is this is what it's like. Are you on a VPN, by the way? Because
Hold on, let me check.
yeah, because if you're on a VPN, then that's probably why they're like Cloudflare is freaking out. It's my
Okay,
guess.
I just put it.
So I see from Mo's what is it? The time it's 8:36 in the evening.
Yes.
Mind asking where you guys are from? I'm from Iowa, in the Midwest. So it's
Oh,
10. It's 10:30. Yeah, it's 10:36 on my side.
for me, it's for us, it's Pacific time. So California and Nevada.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas.
oh,
Yeah. Um, I'm so sorry, guys.
All good. Let's go back to hopscotch. I think you just have to install the extension. Here, go back. Type.
I'm here.
Click send again, real quick. Oh wait. Click the little warning icon right next to send on your left side of send. Yeah, enable browser extension and see if it installs like a browser extension or something. You can look up install hopscotch browser extension or something. You can look that up on Google. Hopscotch browser extension. I don't know. Set up hopscotch. Yeah, click on that, and you do like Control F, like extension or oh my
Or is,
god,
or is possible.
Absolutely not.
yeah. Control F, like extension. Yeah, search up extension.
Where?
Just Control F it.
Oh,
Could it be web? The web option?
Scroll down a little further. I just saw it. Yeah, install the browser extension from the below links. Click Chrome, right? Because you're using Chrome, I'm guessing.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Add to Chrome.
Yep, 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 yep.
Looks
There we
good.
go.
Okay. Yep. And then go back to Hopscotch and try it out. And click on the warning symbol and click Enable Browser Extension. You might have to refresh your page. I don't know. We'll see.
All right,
Go
and
ahead
we're
and click
live.
send. So,
Hey,
there you go. See how it generated a new ID, the name, email, and age, and you have a JSON response body.
yeah, look at that.
Yeah. That explains things, yes?
That was a molehill. I'm gonna have to not only study more, but review this, apply it, and yeah, really get into this some more. But it made sense conceptually, and you really put it made a lot of other things made sense. As mentioned, when I get my hands dirty and I do things, that's how I learn. When I'm new to something is the most painful, but I'm trying.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's all good. All right, Gene, do you want to break down your code, or do you want to do that tomorrow? It's your call because it is getting late.
I think we'll do it tomorrow because what I've been doing the whole week is just the same as what Mo has been doing. I've just been going through, just getting my hands dirty, trying other projects just to see and just to learn. So yeah, much of the things we've covered today, some of them I've gone through them, so I had an idea. That's why I could throw out suggestions and things like that. But
Gotcha.
yeah, on working on the Jira tickets, yeah, I tried to run the project to Spring like the main
Hmm.
method. Then I got the errors that I texted you on Slack. Told you
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the
You're
errors
having
are
trouble running the server itself. Okay, yeah, yeah. Then we can take a look tomorrow. How's that sounding? We can figure
yeah, we
that
can
out.
take a look into it, yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, thanks for joining, guys. I know today was more of a simple session, but we really broke things down, and hopefully that explains a lot of your guys' questions.
Yes, thank you so very much for holding my hand through that whole process, and thank you, Jean, for your patience. And I look forward to us troubleshooting your issues tomorrow and learning about how to make this progress more.
Yep.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Then I think I'll call it a night. I don't know if I'm going to upload tonight because it's a huge file, but we'll just go
Yeah.
from there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah. Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.